Good morning, friends. It is a beautiful Saturday morning, and I'm just hanging out here on my balcony, drinking some coffee, getting ready for the day. Yes, this is my balcony view every single day, and I'm a pretty blessed guy, to say the least. So I'm going to be filming episode 7 of the Law of Attraction series today. Actually, today and next Saturday. Today's going to be more of a test run, but I'm going to take you guys behind the scenes with me, because the episode is called Give Me This Mountain, and it's all about what the true essence of power is, true meaning of power. And so obviously I got to go film it on a mountain, right? Be a travesty not to. So we have 2 mountains in NorCal that are kind of like big epic mountains. The first one is Mount Diablo, which is the biggest mountain in California, and then the second one is Mount Tamalpais, which is a little bit smaller than Diablo, but way more scenic and beautiful. So luckily I live only like an hour and 20 minutes from both of them, so we're gonna go to Mount Tamalpais to do some filming and testing today, because if you follow me on Instagram, you know I got a fun little toy this week. I got a little drone, so we're gonna practice getting some drone footage. You'll probably see some of the footage we get today also in the episode next week, if it's good enough. But yeah, we're gonna sort of scout it out and see what it looks like. So I'm going to take you guys behind the scenes with me and get some fun shots. I'll probably just mash it all up at the end of the video into a cool little cinematic sequence music video for you guys, just for funsies, because I like doing that. So let's go see the drone. There's a little Bodie bear. Hey Bodie. He's getting big, you guys. He weighs a walloping 7 pounds now. And he loves this new beard I'm growing. He like licks it constantly. So this is the drone. This is the DJI Spark. It's the smallest drone DJI makes. But this little dude can freaking fly, man. Like he can go almost as fast as the Mavic, and he only shoots in 1080 instead of 4K. But he has a lot of cool tricks up his sleeve he can do that the Mavic doesn't do. One of them is called Jedi control, well, palm control. I call it Jedi control. You can grab your palm, you can like move it with the force. So we're going to test some of those out today. But there's a couple of shots I really want to get, a couple of shots I need to practice getting for next week. You only get like 15 minutes of flight time out of these things per battery. I have 2 batteries and a portable charger, so maybe 45 minutes of flight time, which isn't that much, because you got to land the thing a lot, take it off again. It doesn't have a long battery life. That's my only knock on it. Other than that, it's an amazing product. So this is where we are at the bottom there in the South Bay. We're going all the way north of San Francisco, and then 45 more minutes up the mountain. Wow, this is breathtaking. We are, what's the elevation here, do you know?
No, you should check.
Let's go figure it out. Man, this is gorgeous. We're gonna get some amazing footage out here. Okay, so to pay up here, it's like an honor system. You just fill this slip out, and there's like a little slot, and you just put cash in it. That is very official. Weather Channel app said it was gonna be 69 degrees today. And it definitely ain't no 69 degrees. What do you think it is?
It feels like 80.
At least 80. It might be 90. I'm baking out here.
Come on, check.
And at least the views are nice.
Hey!
Hey!
Oh, this is awesome.
I feel like I'm in that old Nickelodeon show, The Wild Thornberrys.
Oh my god, I love that show.
Did you ever watch that show? What's the dad's name with the big huge nose? Nigel Thornberry. Who's my hero?
Oh my god.
Training legs yesterday was a terrible idea.
Cool.
All right, there it is. Let's go do this.
Let's do it.
I'd say this is a good spot to film. It's amazing. Look at that. Just made my day. He's like, I like this guy. Free affection. Hey, boys, don't. We need to find like a home point that's big enough for the drone to land on. If it loses signal or something, it'll go back to the home point. But as you can see, there's not a lot of flat surfaces for the drone to land. And there's a lot of shrubbery it could land on. So we gotta be extra careful. Okay, rock. Alright.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Drones are not permitted on that.
Oh, is that true? Okay. Someone told me they were.
No, I'm sorry to say they're not.
Okay.
There's concern over the batteries.
Well, as soon as we took off, he said that we're apparently not allowed to fly up here, even though online it said we are. So I landed my drone, but it was gonna land on the corner of that thing, and I didn't want to break the blades, so I tried to grab it. Didn't work out so well for me. I think the drone won that battle. Mr. Firefighter guy is gonna give me a band-aid, 2 band-aids. So it'll be good. Good? Good as new. Okay, so we pulled off on the side of the road somewhere. We're gonna try to find a spot far enough away from, is it in the background? No. From that building that we were just at. And we need a flat surface to take the drone off from. So we're gonna go down this mysterious looking path, which looks promising. Down the rabbit hole we go. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference. Well, this looks promising. Oh, well, there's power lines right there. Oh, yeah. We should watch out for that. I have to just manually land it myself. Yeah. It's worth a shot. I got another boo-boo along the way. I'm just full of battle wounds today. Do it for the gram.
All those years of video games paid off, huh? Nice.
Oh my god, that was hard. All alone. Oh my god. We found the spot. This is so epic.
It does not get better.
Me too, absolutely. You ready? All right, day 2. I'm back at it again, all by myself today, because we missed 2 shots yesterday that I really wanted to get. And so heading back up here, see if I can get these shots. Because you know what? Flying drones is like an art form, guys. It is not easy. You got wind turbulence to worry about. You got objects you don't want to crash into. You got to get the angles right, the speed right, the gimbal speed right. And if you don't get it smooth and buttery, it looks pretty awful. So I did not anticipate how hard it was going to be. But I came prepared today with sunscreen, freshly manicured beard, and I'm up for the challenge. Let's see if we can get this thing done. I hope you guys can see how much I love y'all, because it is hotter than hell in a heat wave out here. I am burning alive. I think it's like 95 degrees. I'm doing all this for you. Maybe a little bit for me too, but mostly for you guys. There's this cool little rest stop up here. I just wandered way up this hill and found this beaten path and started walking it, and here I am. It's really pretty up here. So my goal for this episode, Give Me This Mountain, is really just to discuss what true power is. True power versus ego power. And the idea is that faith and power are the same thing. The word faith is power, because faith is this total surrendering, this total non-attachment, total letting go, refusing to cling to anything. And this is where true power comes from non-attachment. And when we desire things, we're attached to things, we're attached to an outcome, we need things to be a certain way to be happy. This is where powerlessness comes from. And this is what blocks manifestation from happening. But I've sort of laid out this series in the way that I have on purpose, because in order to really understand these concepts at the end of the series, we have to first understand, at least begin to understand, who we really are. We have to go beyond the small self, the psychological self, if we want to become powerful. We have to become the universe. So a phrase I've said a couple of times in the series so far, and I say quite often on my Instagram, is this idea of just being nobody, being nothing. And in spirituality, when we say this, what we basically mean is that the universe itself is infinite. The universe goes on forever in all directions, outside of time and space. So it doesn't have a fixed identity like we do. It's not like you can say, hey guys, look, it's Stan, the universe. Guys, meet Stan. Stan, my viewers. Stan is a little shy at first, but when you get to know him, he's really nice. No, the universe is nobody. It's all nothing arising out of nowhere, happening for nobody. It's this eternal unfolding. And this dimension of infinity exists within you. And we access it through silence, through coming in touch with our own stillness and silence. The universe is infinite. There can never be a finite universe, because a finite universe needs a source. If there's a boundary to the universe, what's beyond the boundary? Finite universe cannot exist, but infinity doesn't need a source. Infinity is the source. And infinity exists inside of you right now. And it's the silence, it's not the thoughts. Thoughts are finite. They come and they go. They have a countdown. They have a lifetime, a lifespan. Silence is eternal. And that's why we love coming out in nature, because it shows us who we really are. But 99% of people never get in touch with the dimension of silence in themselves, because they're totally identified with thinking, with their thinking brain, thinking mind. And this becomes a huge problem, especially when we want to manifest things, attract good things to ourselves. But a good way of getting out of this trap of thinking that you are your thoughts is to ask yourself the question, what is there between two thoughts? If I am my thoughts, then when one thought arises and then leaves, and there's that gap of silence before the next thought starts, who is there? What is there? You are there. You are there in the silence, because you actually are the silence, not the thoughts. There's a phrase that says, as within, so without, or as above, so below. So around us right now, we see basically two things in the universe. We see space, and objects in space. And we need both for the contrast. They're both good. But which one existed first? Which one is the original? Is it the objects or the space? It's the space. The objects arise out of space. And the same is true for you. Do the thoughts come first, or does the silence come first? Thoughts arise out of silence. Silence doesn't arise out of thoughts. And so, if you can be silent and you can think, and we know that silence comes first, then how can you be separate from that? How can you be anything else? You are silence, because you are infinity. Because the thing about infinity is that if infinity exists, if we acknowledge that the universe is infinite, then we are simultaneously acknowledging that you are it. If infinity exists, then you are infinity, experiencing this person right now. But that's all you can be and all you ever have been. Thoughts are ultimately just an illusion the universe creates through the mind to give us this experience of being a finite thing. You know, I couldn't have this experience of being Aaron Abke without this body and this mind. It's a good thing. It's a great thing. It's beautiful. But when we're only identified with it, it becomes a problem, a big problem. It causes us to suffer. Because we always take on the limitations of whatever we identify with, right? And even the idea that I am the chooser of thoughts is also an illusion created by the mind. There is no chooser of thoughts. There is no thinker of thoughts. Thoughts are arising by themselves. They are an automatic mechanical mechanism based on our genetics, societal conditioning, cultural conditioning. And so let's say I'm hiking and I feel hunger pangs and I think, oh, I'm hungry, I'd like a sandwich. And my mind says, I am the chooser of the thought. I chose the thought, I would like a sandwich. I really do exist. Well, was there a selection of thoughts before me? Who was there choosing that thought? Did it just arise, or did I go, okay, thought 1, I'm thirsty. Thought 2, I want to watch Netflix. Thought 3, I'm hungry, I want a sandwich. I select thought 3. Thought. That never happens, right? It just arises. And the mind takes credit for it and steps in and says, oh, I was there choosing the thought. So it's like the clown who takes a bow at the end of the play as the curtains close. But the clown was never in the play. And this is a beautiful realization. This is when awakening happens. And so if you want to get in touch with the dimension of silence in yourself, the dimension of infinity within yourself that you've never explored before, maybe, there's a really good sort of tricky little mantra I learned years and years ago. And it's the phrase, what is my next thought going to be? Ask yourself. Don't just say it, but really ask yourself. And this causes the mind to sort of glitch out for 5 or 10 seconds. And you experience silence, stillness, vastness, spaciousness. And here there is no fear. There is no doubt. There is no anxiety. There is nobody. But there is you. And the mind says, I don't want to be silence. I want to be thoughts. If I'm not thoughts, then that means I don't exist. That's a scary thought. But even that is witnessed by you. You are still there witnessing the idea of, oh, that's a scary thought. You can never vanish. You can never disappear. You are the eternal I am. So we can do it right now. Take 10 seconds. Close your eyes, center yourself, ask yourself the question, what is my next thought going to be? And there you are. The infinity between thoughts. Oh, this is a little sketchy. This looks like the safer way. Wow, I lucked out. There is nobody up here but me. Okay, now I gotta set this up before other people show up and ruin my shot. Okay, wow, that was a huge success. We got some sweet drone shots. I finally figured out how to keep the camera stable, so hopefully it'll look pretty good on video. And I got the 2 shots I wanted, which is also awesome. Now we gotta choose a song for the video. I wanted to use this one, but I'm using that for my meditation series intro. Let's go with one I know is good. This one.
There's no map where we want to go. There's no road that can take us home. Flying blind, terrified, we all feel like we're alone. We're all candles in the dark, burning flames born from our hearts. Look inside, who am I? We're lost, but we're alive. We're all in this together. All in this together.
two shots I really wanted to get, which I knew were gonna be hard, was one aerial view of me driving down a road from about 70 meters up. The second shot I wanted to get was, it's called a dolly zoom. It's that shot where the camera is moving forward while it's zooming out at the same time. So it gives that push-pull, that vertigo effect. And I wanted to get that shot while the drone's cresting up a mountain. So I think I got it, but I don't know. We'll have to see when I get it loaded up.